A pleasant good evening and welcome to the Wolverina, the Turtle Creek home of the Woodland Hills Wolverines. And tonight it's home to the WPIAL quarterfinals as the Woodland Hills Wolverines take on the Franklin Regional Panthers in the 4 versus 5 matchup. Woodland Hills 8-2 on the year, 7-1, the runners-up out of the Allegheny 9 Conference, while Franklin Regional, the 5th-seeded team, is 7-2 on the year, 6-2, the third-place team out of the Big East Conference. The Wolverines come off of a 28-21 win against Upper St. Clair last week, while the Franklin Regional Panthers defeated the Gateway Gators 24-19 in Monroeville a week ago. The last time these two teams met was way back in 1999, a 17-14 victory for the Wolverines in Murraysville, PA. And Fred, guys, we bring you into the pregame show here. This is a big matchup. 4 versus 5 is traditionally the tightest game in the playoffs every season.
Yeah, and and Woodland Hills is facing a very hot Franklin Regional team, coming in winning 7 in a row. The only 2 losses of the season were to McKeesport and Kiski early on in the season. Some pretty impressive wins along the way during that 7-game winning streak, and the only other winning streak that's a little bit longer than the Panthers are the West Allegheny Indians, so this should be a good matchup for Woodland Hills.
Yeah, Franklin Regional in that line of victories included a win against the very, very potent team out of the Big East Conference, Armstrong.
Yeah, and I didn't see the statistics in that game, but if you're doing a good job and able to beat Armstrong, that means you neutralize their main running threat in Zane Dudek.
The only 2 losses on the year for Franklin Regional came at the beginning of the year to McKeesport and Kiski. Their lone non-conference game was a win against North Hills out of the Allegheny 9. We'll set the scene for folks tuning in on the MSA Sports Network. Along the near sideline are the Franklin Regional Panthers. They wear their road white uniforms, white jerseys, white pants, dark blue numerals with the gold trim, gold helmets with the navy blue face masks. Along the far sideline, Woodland Hills going old school with the black jerseys and the white pants, turquoise numerals with the white trim, and the ever-menacing turquoise helmets with the black ears and stripes. Along that far sideline, the 30-year head coach of the Wolverines is George Novak, while the head man for Franklin Regional since 1993 is Greg Botta. And Fred, one thing that's interesting and obviously doesn't really mean much to the kids on the field, but certainly has something to do with you and I, is Franklin Regional was the team 18 years ago that stopped a very long home winning streak for Woodland Hills, spanning 19 games from 1993 to 1998.
Actually, it was 94.
Wow.
It was, McKeesport had ended that, I think it was Plum that we...
The loss to McKeesport was the last home loss until 1998.
Correct, and it was a very exciting game. Franklin Regional came in undefeated, I think number 1 or number 2 at the time, and beat a pretty impressive Woodland Hills team.
A pop-up kick down the near sideline. We're underway in Turtle Creek, PA, as Derek Caraway is on the return for the Wolverines. He'll cross the 20 out towards the 24-yard line. A couple of Panthers are there to make the stop, and it will be 1st and 10 for Woodland Hills as they'll place the ball at the 25.
And the Franklin Regional Panther defense has nothing to sneeze at, only allowing 15 points a game throughout the course of the season. Coach Novak says they run a 3-5 defense, so they're stacking the box with 8 men and basically trying to dare you to beat them via the pass.
3rd straight start for Daniel Jones after earning the job in the victory against the Moon Tigers. Pistol formation. Jones low snap. He'll work off of play action, rolling to his right-hand side. He'll step into one, and the pass down the middle is bobbled and nearly intercepted. Vinny Peisnick had the ball in his hands, but could not hang on to it, and the incomplete pass brings up 2nd and 10.
And Woodland Hills going away from their traditional run first play of the game, deciding to see what the defense for the Panthers looks like, and seemed like they were pretty much up to the task on that play.
So 2nd down and 10. The ball on the left hash at the 25-yard line after that incomplete pass. Rodney Nard splits wide to the right-hand side, near side left, a receiver as well. Pistol formation as the handoff will go to Jawan Hill, or rather that is Seed Holt, the ball carrier. He'll lower his shoulder, picking up half a dozen yards to the 31-yard line before stepping out of bounds. And it'll be 3rd down and a manageable 4.
And Holt just taking the ball off the left side, starting to the right initially, didn't see anything. Put a couple moves on number 16, Hunter Stonecheck, and did a great job of getting to the outside and picking up some good yards on second down.
So the ball remains on the left hash. As the Wolverines send 3 receivers to the right-hand side with a pistol. Counter coming to the near side left. And stretching, trying to get that first down is Seed Holt. He will pick up 3. The Wolverines needed 4. And it is fairly close to that first down marker, but it seems like it is just a bit short. And a Wolverine is shaken up along this near sideline as well. And that's Jaquay Thomas, the 6'4", 320-pound senior. That's bad news. Thomas, who did not start the season playing football, returned to the lineup early in the season and has been a mainstay on that front line for the Wolverines since then. Injury appears to be his right leg. And while the athletic training staff from Woodland Hills takes a look at him, we will step away. It's 0-0, just over 30 seconds played here at the Wolverine. You're tuned in to the Wolverines and the Panthers on MSA Sports in the Woodland Hills Football Network. Jaquay Thomas helped to his feet, and he will walk to the far sideline under his own power. As the Wolverines going to run the punt unit on this chilly evening. 50 degrees but clear skies, and the temperatures will drop rapidly as the night progresses for this WPIAL quarterfinal matchup. And Michael McAllister is the long snapper, the punter, Michael Whitehurst. Go ahead, Freddie.
I was just about to say, it's good to see Jaquay Thomas walking off on his own power.
Back deep to return for Franklin Regional is Zane Flynn. The Wolverines taking a while to get the snap, and now McAllister back to Whitehurst. Whitehurst caroms this one off the side of his foot. It'll take a Wolverine bounce for a moment and then bounce back in favor of Franklin Regional. Not much of a punt there, as that will cover 22 yards, and it'll be first down and 10 for Franklin Regional with good field position at their own 44-yard line.
It actually sounded like that punt hurt Mikey Whitehurst coming off of his foot. There was a big thud, and the ball didn't go very far at all.
So the Panthers are going to break the huddle. Simon Bear, the quarterback, with sidecars to either side. One receiver split to the left. Tight ends on both sides of the formation. Receiver on the left motions to the right now. As Bear calls for the snap, he's going to roll to his right-hand side. He's going to be hit as he releases the football, and the pass is batted around and nearly caught, but it will fall to the turf incomplete as the pass intended for the motion man, Zane Flynn.
I thought Flynn actually came up with that ball. Looked like he was pushed in the back by Caraway, and then Caraway knocked the ball into the air, which looked like it might have hit Flynn, but he couldn't come up with it.
Just over 11 minutes to play here in the first quarter. We're scoreless between Woodland Hills and Franklin Regional. Motion man from left to right is Flynn again as Bear throws the pass to the near side right. It's complete to Flynn, who will be wrapped and brought down a couple of yards deep in the backfield. Seed Holt and last week's player of the game, Deontay Robertson, combined on the stop, a 1-yard loss on the play.
And it looks like Franklin Regional ran a little bubble screen out to the right, but the Wolverines were not faked out by one bit. Derek Caraway was able to get off his receiver and make the initial contact, and Deontay Robinson came and cleaned it up.
So that'll bring up third down and 11 for Franklin Regional with the football on the right hash. And the Panthers are going to send trips to the left, one receiver to the short side right. Bear's going to set in the pistol with Johns set behind him. Bear pumps left, looks back to the right-hand side, and the pass is incomplete. Two Wolverines were in the vicinity as the pass intended for Nate Leopold falls to the turf, incomplete. Seed Holton, Derek Caraway combine on the breakup, and that'll bring up 4th down and 11.
And the sideline for Franklin Regional seems a little fired up that there was no pass interference or holding called on Derek Caraway, but I didn't see any. I mean, they got tangled up, but I didn't see any actual grabbing or pass interference.
No, me neither. Just running step for step. And the incomplete pass again will bring the punt unit on, this time for Franklin Regional, as DeFalco will boot into this one, a high-hanging punt that will take a bounce in favor of Franklin Regional and then bounce back towards the Wolverines side of the field. So it will be downed by the Panthers at the 29-yard line, and Woodland Hills starts its second drive, again inside of its own 30.
And it looked like Franklin Regional really didn't trust their running game on offense against the Wolverines, coming out with 3 straight passes, and the Wolverines were, able to either come up with some incompletions or nice stuff on second down.
Fred, when you think about what Woodland Hills has been susceptible to this season, obviously it has been the passing game, so that may have been what the strategy was for Greg Botta and his staff. Wing to the left, receiver split to either side. As the handoff will go to Jawan Hill. He'll run to the left-hand side, found a crease for a moment as he drives his way forward for a 5-yard gain to the 34-yard line. Tackle made by Bryce Lauer. And another Wolverine offensive lineman is down at the end of the play, and this one appears to be John Robinson. Robinson, 6'2", 257-pound two-way lineman. The Wolverines, if Thomas can't return and if they lose Robinson here, that is certainly devastating for the Woodland Hills offensive front 5. Athletic trainer Denny D'Amico out there taking a look at John Robinson. It appears to be his right ankle, the issue. Coach Novak out to talk to the young man as well. And with Robinson down, we'll step away. Scoreless game, 9:42 to play in quarter number 1. You're tuned into the Wolverines and the Panthers on MSA Sports and the Woodland Hills Football Network. John Robinson to his feet, and he will walk gingerly to the far sideline, favoring his left ankle apparently. And as we already said, Fred, Jaquay Thomas also out of the lineup. Let's take a look at the WPIAL Allegheny 9 conference standings. The Wolverines finishing second with that 8-1 record, a game behind West Allegheny. Third place team was Upper St. Clair. North Hills finishing 4th as they take on West A tonight. Fox Chapel, Moon, Char Valley, Baldwin, and Hampton not qualifying for the playoffs as they finish 5 through 9 respectively in the Allegheny 9 conference. So the Wolverines facing a second down and 5. The ball at the 34-yard line on the left hash. 2 receivers to the right of the formation, a wing to that right as well. Daniel Jones looking to the right-hand side. The pass is complete over on that far side. The Wolverines have the first down and more. Out to the 50-yard line goes the Wolverines receiver, and it'll be 1st and 10 at the midfield stripe as Derek Caraway makes the play for Woody High.
Yeah, Woodland Hills running the bubble screen themselves. Nice throw by Daniel Jones leading Derek Caraway as he came across the line of scrimmage, and then Derek Caraway pretty much did the rest as he picked up enough for the first down and a lot more.
Got a couple of nice blocks out there as well. Both Rodney Denard and Avram Abramovitz helping spring Caraway for that pickup of 16. Ball on the right hash, 2 receivers left. Handoff goes to Hill as they'll bounce it to the right-hand side. Tries the stiff arm as he's strung out to the far boundary. They may place the ball a yard deep in the backfield, which they will, and it will be a loss of 1 and 2nd down and 11.
It's going to be really hard for these Woodland Hills running backs to string things along, considering that Franklin Regional is running 8, sometimes 9 guys in the box against the run.
The Wolverines will break the huddle on 2nd down and 11. Jones in the pistol with Hill behind him. 2 receivers left, 1 to the far boundary right on the short side. And the snap awry, and a flag flies just before the snap as well. We'll check in with our referee, David Barry, to see what this call is.
Dead ball. False start. Offense. Penalty remains. Second down.
Loss of 5 on the penalty, and that'll back it up to the 44-yard line, where it'll be second down and 16 after the penalty. One receiver split to either side. Jones, straight drop back, looking right the whole way. Pass to that far sideline, complete for another Woodland Hills first down. This time it's Avram Abramovitz making the catch on the tightrope.
Yeah, and Avram Abramovitz, who had a kind of hit and miss game last week with a few drops, did a great job of concentrating on this pass as it came from Jones and actually extending his body a little bit to make that catch and pick up the first down.
19-yard completion to Avram Abramovitz. And the Wolverines have the ball inside of Panthers territory at the 37. Jones in the pistol. Receiver split to either side as Robertson crabs to the right. Handoff. Holt running right, has a crease. He'll carry it for a first down and more. Down to the 25-yard line, a pickup of a dozen, and the Wolverines have another first down.
And Holt just taking the ball off right side, saw a small crack in the offensive line, and defense for Franklin Regional was able to get across the line of scrimmage and pick up some nice yards, picking up the first down.
So the ball remains on the right hash as the Wolverines face this first down and 10 at the Panthers' 25-yard line. Michael McAllister leads the Wolverines to the line of scrimmage. Jones will set in the pistol with Holt behind him, and one receiver split to either side. Wing to the right as Robertson, as he'll crab to the left. Handoff. Holt bouncing to the left-hand side. He's inside of the 20-yard line, down to the 15-yard line, where he's got another 12-yard pickup and a Woodland Hills first down.
And is on his way to his first down. Saeed Holt was breaking some ankles out there in the flats. He was able to get the cornerback in a very precarious position as he put a little juke move on him, going around the left end and picking up the first down.
So the ball at the 14-yard line, so it'll be a gain of 11 for Saeed Holt, who now has 4 carries for 26 yards. Ball on the left hash now as Jones gets some signals from the sidelines and will set in the pistol.
Dead ball. Delay a game. Offense. 5-yard penalty. Face. First down.
So after the penalty, the Wolverines are going to face a first down and 15 with the ball at the 19-yard line. So Daniel Jones talking things over with Coach Novak as the Wolverines face this first and 15 from the 19 inside of the Panthers red zone. Handoff to Holt as he bounces it to the right-hand side. He is met there by a couple of Panthers, but still on his feet, eluding tacklers as he retreats all the way back to the 32-yard line, and that is going to be a loss of about 12 yards. They'll say his forward progress stopped at the 31-yard line, and that'll bring up second down and a long way to go as they'll actually push the ball back now to the 32. So it is a loss of 13 yards on the carry. The line to gain is the 4. So it is 3rd and 28.
An excellent pursuit by the Franklin Regional Panthers. Just did not give up trying to get Holt in the tackle in the backfield.
2 receivers left, 1 to the far side right. High snap, Jones straight drop back. Looking right, throwing right, looking for Robertson. And it is caught by Deontay Robertson at the 2-yard line. It'll be first down and goal.
And that was an excellent job of Deontay Robinson. One, having awareness as to where he was on the field, and then making a nice catch as he was on his way out of bounds.
So last week's player of the game shining offensively tonight after he shone so brightly defensively a week ago. A pickup on that play of 30 yards And Daniel Jones has now completed 3 passes for 65 yards. Pistol formation. Roberts in the wing to the left. The tailback is Hill. Jones takes the snap. Hill hand off, and Hill is walloped immediately after taking the handoff by big Bryce Lauer, 6'3", 230-pound defensive lineman.
And he just came through the offensive line. Looks like it pretty much untouched. And as Juwan Hill took the handoff from Jones, Lauer was right in his face.
Well, that is what's going to present an issue here. Without Jaquay Thomas at left tackle, there is a replacement out there, and I think that's Jeremy Thomas, the 6'2", 240-pound sophomore, or rather freshman, lined up at left tackle. 2nd and goal for Woodland Hills, the ball at the 6-yard line. Handoff. Bouncing to the left-hand side is Seed Holt. He'll drive his way down to the 2. And it will bring up 3rd down and goal for Woodland Hills back at the 2-yard line.
And that's really where Woodland Hills has basically had their bread and butter against this Franklin Regional defense, is on the outsides. They've done a great job, especially to the left side of their offense, of picking up decent yards when needed.
So 3rd and goal for Woodland Hills, the ball at the 2-yard line on the left hash. Just under 6 minutes to play in the first quarter, as Woodland Hills is going to use a timeout. We'll take the opportunity to step away as well. 5:53 to play in the first frame. We're knotted up at 0. It's the Wolverines and the Panthers on MSA Sports and the Woodland Hills Football Network. Hills and Franklin Regional tied up at nothing, but the Wolverines are threatening with the ball. 3rd and goal at the 2. Follow us on Facebook. Facebook.com/WHFootballNet. Ball on the left hash. Pistol formation, Robertson crabbing right. Hand off to Holt on the counter. He just lost his balance, basically tripped over the 6-yard line, and he is down at the 4-yard line, and the Wolverines face it 4th and goal now.
Yeah, I think Saeed Holt might have saw that the end zone was wide open and took a misstep somewhere, and unfortunately for Woodland Hills, didn't get in the end zone and not putting any points on the board right now.
Yeah, he just tripped right around the 6-yard line and was down at the 4. Again, Bryce Lauer makes the play, and the Wolverines will bring the field goal unit on here. This will be an 21-yard field goal attempt for Chucky Hanchett. McAllister is the holder, or rather the long snapper, and Whitehurst the holder. High snap, Whitehurst gets it down. Hanchett splits the uprights. And with 5:05 to play in the first quarter, Woodland Hills seizes the lead 3-0 over Franklin Regional. You're tuned into the Wolverines and the Panthers on MSA Sports and the Woodland Hills Football Network. .505 to play in the first quarter. Woodland Hills takes the lead 3-0 on a 21-yard Chucky Hanchett field goal. The Wolverines had the ball 1st and goal at the 2-yard line, but weren't able to do anything with it. But Chucky Hanchett puts points on the board. And Fred, Chucky Hanchett started the season scoring the first points for Woodland Hills, and he starts the playoffs the same way on a field goal, this time against Franklin Regional. First week of the year, it was against Gateway on the road.
Yeah, and I thought that was a really tough angle for Chucky Hanchett, being on the left hash mark, but he did a great job of just putting that ball right through the uprights.
So Hanchett will kick off as there are 3 Panthers back deep to return, but it will be a short kick that will be caught by Zane Flynn just shy of the 40-yard line. So Franklin Regional is going to start this drive at their own 38. Not bad field position yet again.
No, it's not, but Woodland Hills really needs to do the same thing they did on the last drive, is just continue to play man-to-man defense, try to get some pressure on Bear, which, that's something that, if you're going to have a passing quarterback throughout the course of the day, getting some hands in his face is not a bad idea.
Twin split to either side. Bear sets in the shotgun with a sidecar to his left in Coleman. And the ball carrier coming from left to right, Stephen Johns, not Coleman, and he will be brought down as he crosses the line of scrimmage, maybe picking up a yard. Michael McAllister on the stop for Woody High.
Yeah, what I like to see, too, is the fact that Derek Airway is recognizing the run right away, gets rid of his wide receiver, and then gets his nose in there as well.
So the Panthers go to the ground for the first time, and it's a gain of just 1. And Franklin Regional has run 4 offensive plays today for a total of 0 yards. Bear in the pistol with Johns behind him. Tight end to the left of the formation. Receivers split to either side. The ball on the right hash. Bear, he's going to pull the ball out of the belly of Johns, and he will be met at the line of scrimmage, maybe a yard deep in the backfield, as the stop is made by a pair of Wolverines, including Michael Lucas. And I think Robertson also in the stop for the Wolverines.
He certainly was, but Michael Lewis did a great job of getting rid of his offensive lineman, really reading the play, getting rid of his offensive lineman and making a nice leg tackle against Bear.
So that'll bring up 3rd down and 10, a loss of the majority of the 1 yard that the Panthers gained on 1st down. Trips to the left, one receiver to the near side right, as Bear sets in the pistol with Johns behind him. Bear rolling to the left, feeling some pressure as he releases the football, and the pass is completed across the middle. Nate Leopold catching the football, running to the near side right, and he will step out of bounds inside of the Woodland Hills 30 at the 29-yard line.
And that was a very dangerous pass by Bear, but obviously at this point very successful. Was able to find Leopold basically standing in the middle of the field by himself, threw it back across his body, and then Leopold pretty much did the rest after that.
33-yard pickup on that pass play, and it will be 1st and 10 for Franklin Regional with the football at the 29-yard line. Woodland Hills going to use a timeout. We'll step away too. 3:31 to play in the first quarter. Woodland Hills on top of Franklin Regional 3-0. You're tuned into the Wolverines and the Panthers on MSA Sports and the Woodland Hills Football Network. Visit the Woodland Hills Football Network website at woodlandhillsfootballnetwork.com for links to all of our HD broadcasts, as well as how to find all of our social media coverage of the Woodland Hills Wolverines. Adam Gusky, Fred Guy on the call for you here in Turtle Creek. Woodland Hills on top of Franklin Regional 3-0 in the WPIAL quarterfinals. Shotgun for Bear with sidecars to either side. And the Wolverines may have breached the neutral zone as the slot on the left, Jacob Shedd, started to crab to his right-hand side. 2 Wolverines moved, including Tyrell Barlow. And the penalty is going to go against Woodland Hills. And it's encroachment against the Wolverines, costing them 5 yards.
And this certainly isn't the drive that Woodland Hills wanted to have on defense, letting up some big plays and then getting caught in the neutral zone on a penalty.
1st and 5. As Bear's going to take off running, and he is met at the line of scrimmage, maybe even a yard deep in the backfield by Michael McAllister. He just absolutely blew up the tight end who had the very tough assignment of trying to block him. And that'll be a loss of 1, and it's 2nd down and 6.
And Mike McAllister, again, blowing through the offensive line. He's pretty much been doing that all game long so far. But then once he got through the offensive lineman, really put his face mask right in the chest of the quarterback there.
Double tight end set as Bear sets in the pistol with Johns behind him. Bear's going to roll to his left-hand side. He'll be wrapped by Barlow, but somehow is able to get it out over to that far sideline where Jacob Shedd will catch it, and he will be brought down inside of the 20 at the 19-yard line for a pickup of 7 yards, and that is a 1st down for the Franklin Regional Panthers.
Simon Bear is not a small kid by any stretch of the imagination. 6'4", 215 pounds, very strong and athletic. So, an arm tackle is not going to bring him down. You really need to put the body into him if you're going to get him to the ground.
And Johns will take the handoff running to the left as he springs free. He's inside of the 5, and he will be shouldered down right near the goal line. They'll say he's down at the 1-yard line as Asheed Page Jones and Rodney Denard combine for the stop. But it's a big pickup on that play of 17 yards.
And that was an excellent play fake by Bear, which sucked in the linebackers for Woodland Hills and then gave the ball off to Johns, and then Johns did a great job of getting it down close to the end zone.
1st and goal for Franklin Regional. Woodland Hills backed up here after scoring the first points of the game. The Panthers have gone on a protracted drive. Motion to the right as the handoff between Bear and Johns isn't going anywhere because Michael McAllister knifes through there and meets both of them, wraps them both up, and brings them both to the turf. Back at the 4-yard line, it's a loss of 3.
Yeah, McAllister did a great job of just hitting the seam in the offensive line. Again, as you said, Adam, tackling both Bear and Johns in the backfield and basically just standing them up and then letting the rest of the team come and clean up the play.
So since Bear never let go of the ball, they'll say it's his loss of 3. He has minus 5 yards rushing. As a power pistol formation, hand off to Johns. No, Bear's going to roll off the play action to the near side right. He's going to be wrapped, and he is going to be sacked by Asheed Page-Jones right around the 9-yard line. A loss of 5, and it's 3rd and goal back at the 9.
And that was an excellent play by the defensive secondary, and then whoever covered the tight end coming out of the backfield. I couldn't see who it was, but once that Bear saw that neither one of his receivers were open, Asheed Page-Jones did a great job of tracking him down for the sack.
Now they'll say that Johns fell forward to the 8-yard line, so it'll be a loss of 4 on the play after the sack. And it is, there's a penalty on the field as well. It's a legal substitution against Franklin Regional as they had 12 men in the huddle. That is going to cost them an additional 5 yards. And much like Woodland Hills did, Franklin Regional had the ball 1st and goal inside of the 5 at around the 1-yard line. They're now backed up shy of the 10 at the 13 after sacks and penalties push them back.
And I think right now this is a situation where the defense needs to go man-to-man and scrap the zone, which has plagued them pretty much all year long.
Motion man from right to left is Nate Leopold. And the pass is released over to that left-hand side, and wrapped and brought down in the backfield is the receiver, Zane Flynn. A pair of Wolverines were all over that play. And the Franklin Regional Panthers are going to have to send on the field goal unit after the big play by Amir Collins.
And also give some credit to Derek Caraway on that, who basically read the play right from the get-go and did a great job of coming up after he had came into a zone situation, backed up a little bit, and then Collins did a great job of finishing up the play.
A loss of 3 on the play back to the 16, and that makes the field goal that much more difficult for Dominic DeFalco, the 5'8 junior. And that will be the end of the first quarter. We will head to the second frame. Woodland Hills maintaining its 3-point lead, at least for the moment, on top of Franklin Regional. You're tuned into the Wolverines and the Panthers on MSA Sports and the Woodland Hills Football Network. Set to begin the second quarter here in Turtle Creek as Woodland Hills leads Franklin Regional 3-0. The Panthers are going to attempt a field goal here on 4th and goal from the 15-yard line. But they had it 1st and goal at the 1, but a couple of big sacks, big defensive plays, and a penalty pushed Franklin Regional back to the 15, forcing what is now a 32-yard field goal attempt as opposed to Woodland Hills, who made a 21-yard field goal moments ago.
And Woodland Hills really needs to just be smart about this field goal. Try not to get any running into the kickers or holder penalties.
High snap, the hold is down, the kick is carrying to the right-hand side. It'll carry wide right and no good. And the missed field goal by Dominic DeFalco. The Wolverines maintain a 3-point lead 5 seconds into the second quarter.
Yeah, and I was going to mention the fact that when I was watching DeFalco warm up, he was knocking them right through the uprights from about 30, 35, 40 yards away. But again, you don't have a rush in your face at this point, and there's nothing at stake during warm-ups.
In addition to that, the snap very high, and Adam Grieski did all he could to try to get that snap down to no avail. So, as the kick carries to the right-hand side, no good. Woodland Hills will start this drive at their own 20-yard line as we are just underway here in the second quarter. Pistol formation. Now the Wolverines will motion to shotgun. Jones looking left the whole way, going to throw to the left-hand side. Abramovitz has a step. He'll leap up. He'll catch the football, and the officials will say that Abramovitz comes down out of bounds. as the ball was fought for on the way down and ended up coming out with the football was Zane Flynn, but either way, the incomplete pass brings up 2nd and 10.
Good coverage by Flynn, but Woodland Hills fans, you'll be happy to know that I did see Jaquay Thomas back in the lineup at left tackle.
Yeah, I saw that as well as they came into the huddle. Big number 73 back in the lineup, the 6'4", 320-pound senior. Just the 2nd incomplete pass today for Daniel Jones as he's 3 of 5 for 65. Pistol formation. Jones, Hill hand off, running to the left-hand side, Jawan Hill. He'll turn the corner as he crosses the 25-yard line, and a pickup of at least 5, and it'll make it 3rd down and 5.
Man, good job of Jawan Hill of really just following his blockers over that left side. The Woodland Hills offensive line and tight end did a great job of really going man on man and paving the way for Hill.
And as usual, Bryce Johnson amongst the offensive linemen out there leading the way, pulling from his right guard spot. So 3rd and 5 for Woodland Hills with the football on the left hash. They'll break the huddle with one receiver left. Wing and receiver to the near side right. Pistol formation. Jones takes the low snap, looks left the whole way, throws to the left-hand side. The pass in and out of the hands of Avram Abramovitz. Had he held on to that, that would have been more than enough for a Woodland Hills first down. Instead, the punt unit is going to have to come on.
Yeah, I didn't think that ball was exceptionally high for Abramovitz, considering he stands about 6'2", 6'3". Just couldn't corral it in as a defender was bearing in on him.
Yeah, it appeared to be about chest high over there on that far sideline as the ball was carrying to that far boundary. Again on the coverage was Zane Flynn for Franklin Regional on Avram Abramovitz. So it's 4th and 5. The punt unit comes on for Woodland Hills. McAllister the long snapper. Whitehurst is the punter. Snap bounces into the hands of Whitehurst. He boots it away quickly. It'll take a very positive Woodland Hills bounce inside of Panthers territory down towards the 40 and inside of the 40 towards the 37-yard line. And while it didn't have a lot of air underneath it, it had a great hop for the Wolverines and a good switch of field position. Backs the Panthers up to their own 37.
Yeah, great punt. Considering the snap was very low, bounced off the turf before it got to Mikey Whitehurst. Did a great job of one-step punting it and then got a great bounce once that ball hit the turf. It bounced at least another 15 yards after it hit the turf.
Franklin Regional starting its 3rd drive at its own 37-yard line. They have yet to be backed up inside of their own 35. Pistol formation, 2 receivers right. Bear's going to keep it rolling to his right-hand side, and the pass is intercepted by the Wolverines, and then it will be dropped. Oh, my goodness. Deontay Robertson caught the ball, and as he was coming to the turf, he was absolutely tattooed by a Panthers receiver around the 40-yard line, and when Robertson hit the ground, the ball sprung loose.
Yeah, and that receiver was number 15, Bennett Verona, who did a great job of turning into defender once that ball was in the hands of Deontay Robinson, just putting his face mask right in his chest, and as Robinson came to the turf, he couldn't hold on to the football.
So the incomplete pass turns it into 2nd down and 10 for Franklin Regional. Again, they'll split 2 receivers right. Shotgun. Bear's going to keep it himself, running to the right-hand side. He'll be wrapped and brought down by Austin Balashak after a 3-yard gain.
And the Wolverines are doing a great job of keeping Bear in check, especially from a running standpoint. They're really not falling for any of his fakes and just keeping an eye on the football, and Bear is having a tough time running against this Wolverine defense.
Good to see Austin Balashak back in the lineup. I don't think we saw much of him a week ago, but he came through there and was in the backfield, much like Michael McAllister has been coming from that left defensive end. Twin split to either side. Bear in the shotgun, looking right, throwing right. The pass is deflected and somehow pulled in. What a great catch in traffic by Nate Leopold as he will be brought down inside of Wolverines territory at the 49-yard line.
Yeah, in traffic might be an understatement. There were at least 3 or 4 Wolverines around him as he brought that ball in. But good job, good throw by Bear, and then an even better catch by Leopold.
Pickup of 11. On that reception by Leopold, he now has 2 catches for 44 yards. Bear now with 5 completions for 47 yards. Bear running to the right-hand side. He'll be met at the line of scrimmage and driven back. The Wolverines are going to hold him up Austin Balashak, amongst others, in on the tackle. Bottom of the pile, we see Micah Lucas.
And situations like that, Woodland Hills really needs to keep gang tackling Bear and not let him not do the whole hit and release thing. Keep your arms around him and make sure he gets to the turf.
So 2nd and 10 as the clock winds, under 10 minutes to play here in the second quarter. Woodland Hills on top of Franklin Regional 3-0 in this WPIAL quarterfinal matchup between the number 4 and 5 teams in 5A. One receiver right, one receiver to the near side left. Handoff goes to the tailback, Johns. Johns running to the right-hand side, inside of the 45 to the 44-yard line.
A good job of Johns of really just keeping his feet moving. After initial contact, saw a little bit of a crease to the right side and picked up some decent yards to put Franklin Regional in a 3rd and management.
Third and 5 for Franklin Regional. The ball at the Woodland Hills 44. Bear is in the pistol. 2 receivers right, twins to the left. Bear's going to keep it himself, running to the left-hand side, and he'll be wrapped and brought down by Austin Balashak as he came from the left defensive end position, wrapped all the way around to make the stop.
And a good job of the Wolverine defensive ends on that last play, just basically staying home, forcing Bear to keep the ball in his possession. And then, once that happens, the Wolverine defensive line did a great job of hitting and wrapping.
Simultaneously, that forces a 4th down, 4th and 5 as the punt unit comes on. Dominic DeFalco looks to punt it away for Franklin Regional. And DeFalco will boom this one away, and it will carry inside of the 15 down towards the 10-yard line, still rolling in favor of Franklin Regional. And the ball is down at the 4-yard line where it'll be 1st and 10 for Woodland Hills, but they certainly have got a long field ahead of them.
Yeah, great job of DeFalco of kind of, rebounding from that missed field goal, pinning the Wolverines back deep in their own territory.
So 1st and 10 for Woodland Hills. The ball set at their own 4-yard line. 8:11 to play in quarter number 2. Pistol formation. It appears to be Seed Holt back behind Daniel Jones as there's a wing to the left and one receiver to the right. That wing, Robertson, grabs to the right. Handoff, Holt. Not much of a hole there as he'll drive his way forward out towards the 5-yard line, picking up just a yard, and that brings up 2nd down and 9.
Getting a little breathing room. Good penetration by the defensive line and linebackers for Franklin Regional. Really, again, anything in between the tackles, the Panthers have been up to the task against this Wolverine offense.
Clock line 7:44 here in the second quarter. Woodland Hills leading Franklin Regional 3-0. One receiver split to the near side right. Wing to the left is Robertson. Jones is going to hand off to the tailback. That is Seed Holt, who is met at the line of scrimmage, but he'll still drive his way forward for a gain of about 1 or 2, crossing that 5-yard line, and it will bring up 3rd and long.
And I thought Woodland Hills was going to get called for a substitution penalty. I saw a player run out of the huddle just as they a split second before they broke, and obviously that was enough time for them not to get called on a penalty.
Now, I think Rodney Denard may have exited the huddle before the player came in from the sideline, and I guess the official gave the benefit of the doubt on that substitution there. So a pickup on that play of a yard out to the 6 brings up 3rd down and 8. And I think Woodland Hills is going to use their final timeout of the quarter, and that makes a lot of sense, facing a pivotal 3rd down and 8 with the ball at the 6-yard line. We'll step away once again with Woodland Hills leading Franklin Regional by a score of 3-0. You're tuned into the Wolverines and the Panthers on MSA Sports and the Woodland Hills Football Network. Visit the Woodland Hills Football Network YouTube channel, youtube.com/WH Football Network. Back to live action. As Daniel Jones faces a 3rd down and 8, looks to his left, completes the pass for a Woodland Hills 1st down, and it'll be 1st and 10 for Woody High with the ball at the 21-yard line as the pass is completed to Derek Caraway. Pick up of 15 yards on that pass to Caraway, Freddie.
And whatever Coach Novak said in that timeout certainly worked. And it was just a great throw and catch from Daniel Jones to Derek Caraway to pick up the first down.
4 of 7 is Daniel Jones today for 80 yards. It's Derek Caraway catching that ball at the 21-yard line for the first down. Slow snap as the handoff will go to the tailback. Dancing his way through traffic goes Seed Holt. He'll pick up positive yardage out towards the 24-yard line. A pickup of 3, and it is 2nd down and 7.
Yeah, and you can certainly see, especially on the replay, when the snap is a little delayed or slow getting back to Daniel Jones, it seems to throw off the rhythm of the offense.
20 yards on the ground today for Seed Holt. He had a big 13-yard loss earlier on in the game. Receivers split to either side. Ball on the left hash with a wing to the right, and Jones in the pistol. And Jones is going to hand off to Seed Holt, and he'll get back to the line of scrimmage. Maybe he'll get his way out towards the 25-yard line. It'll depend on the spot. The official on the far sideline says that the ball carrier got out to the 35. The official on the near sideline says the 24. So the umpire splits the difference and puts it at the 24.5.
Yeah, and again, there's another slow or delayed snap from Mike McAllister to Daniel Jones. It's actually off to Daniel Jones' left side. Fortunately for the Wolverines, the play was actually going that way.
Pistol formation as Jones looks left. Throws to the left. The pass complete to Avram Abramovitz. He'll dance to the far sideline, picking up a Woodland Hills first down, forced out of bounds at the 41-yard line.
Yeah, I like the way the Wolverines are utilizing the out-passing game so far in this ball game to Abramovitz, to Caraway. Little 5-10-yard outs that seem like small plays, but that are going to be successful in the long run.
A 17-yard pickup, far from a small play, as Daniel Jones has now completed 5 passes for 97 yards, and those 5 passes have been distributed to 3 different receivers thus far. 1st and 10 for Woodland Hills at the 41. They'll run the end around. Coming from left to right is Derek Caraway. Caraway will step his way to the 40-yard line, brought down by a couple of Panthers, and there is a flag in the backfield, and I think this one is going to go against Bryce Johnson. Flag is at the 39-yard line, so that'll be enforced 10 yards from the spot of the foul if Franklin Regional accepts the penalty, which you have to assume they will do. So holding against Franklin Regional, or rather against Woodland Hills, backs them up to the 29-yard line. Ultimately a loss of 12 on the penalty, and it is first down and 22 at the 29.
What I'm confused about, wow, that was very late. Bear was actually double teamed on that play.
Jones steps through some pressure, throws it across the middle. It's intercepted by Justin Johns. Johns running to his right-hand side, and he'll be wrapped and brought down inside of the Woodland Hills 20-yard line. Jones with a very ill-advised pass as he just threw it out there trying to avoid a sack.
Which in this situation, you're deep in your own territory. You're looking at 3rd down. No sense in trying to rock the boat, or actually first down. Was that correct? Was
yeah.
It first down?
Mm-hmm.
No sense in trying to rock the boat. Take the sack or throw it away. Be smart back there and give your team another chance for another down.
So an interception at the 35-yard line, a return of 18 yards, and it is 1st and 10 for Franklin Regional inside of the Woodland Hills red zone at the 17-yard line. Bear rolling to his left. He's going to step forward, and he is going to pick up some positive yardage, maybe a gain of a yard. And the tackle on the play made by Amir Collins.
Good job of Collins of not letting Bear get loose in the flats. as that play developed, I figured that there was going to be a little bit more of an opportunity for him to run. Once he pulled it down, Collins did a great job with the tackle.
So 2nd down and 9 as Bear in the shotgun rolls to his right-hand side. He's pressured. He'll release the football to that far sideline. It is caught, and it's close to the 1st down marker. Stepping away from traffic went Nate Leopold, and it'll be 3rd and about a half a yard for the Panthers with the ball just shy of the 8-yard line.
And Leopold actually did a great job of coming back to Bear as he saw that he was in trouble, and Bear just floated it out there right into Leopold's hands.
3rd catch of the game for Leopold. He now has 51 yards on 3 catches, 54 yards in the air thus far for Franklin Regional. Leopold now running out of the Wildcat, running to the left-hand side. He's got the 1st down before he gets walloped just inside of the 5-yard line. And it'll be 1st and goal for Franklin Regional again.
And this is where Woodland Hills really needs to step it up like they did in the 1st quarter with a good goal line stand.
Clock winding to 4 minutes exactly to play in the 1st half. Woodland Hills on top of Franklin Regional 3-0, but the Panthers threatening on 1st and goal at the 4. Leopold runs the quarterback in the Wildcat. They'll fake the jet sweep, and Leopold is going to keep it himself. He'll be met a yard deep in the backfield and then pulled back by Eric Oliver. And it will be a loss of 1 and it's 2nd goal at the 5.
Woodland Hills again not falling for any of the play fakes run by anybody who handles the snap for Franklin Regional. Again, Eric Oliver did a great job of stepping in and making a nice tackle.
DeJuan Howell's also involved in that tackle for the Wolverines, the freshman nose tackle. Bear back in there. Set in the power pistol. He'll hand off. John's running left. And he lost his footing right around the 5-yard line as Howell's again involved in the stop.
And I really think that there is a turf monster around the 5-6 yard line. Holt did the same thing earlier in the ball game. The same thing happened to Johns.
Yeah, as Johns runs to the left here, there is some pressure applied by Howells, but yeah, he just lost an edge on his right cleat, and a loss of 1 there for Johns.
They might have to stop the game and wipe that area down. Maybe it's wet.
This isn't volleyball, Fred.
Okay.
Power pistol with sidecars to either side of Bear. He'll motion one of those fullbacks out of the formation. He'll hand off to Leopold, who runs to his left, and he'll be brought down at the line of scrimmage by Damian T. Thomas, who had a fantastic game a week ago for the Wolverines.
And that was a great job of Damian T. Thomas just coming down the line of scrimmage. And then once he saw that Leopold had the ball, he just put his helmet right in his chest.
So again, Franklin Regional going to attempt a field goal, this time from the left hash. Dominic DeFalco going to attempt a 23-yarder, and this time he will split the uprights. And we are tied up at 3-all with 1:44 to play in the 2nd quarter. You're tuned into the Wolverines and the Panthers on MSA Sports and the Woodland Hills Football Network. It's 3-3. Woodland Hills and Franklin Regional tied up at 3-all. 23-yard field goal by Dominic DeFalco ties the game. Folks, if you're listening carefully, you may notice a different voice on the public address system here at the Wolverina. Jason Coleman filling in for Matt Rodriguez, who is at home watching our live stream while his wife is starting to have some contractions as they are expecting a baby within the next 24 hours. Ball down the near sideline, caught by Rodney Denard, and Rodney Denard off of the kickoff return will be brought down, crossing the 35 to the 37-yard line, where it'll be 1st down and 10 for Woodland Hills, and this will be the best starting field position for the host team.
Yeah, right now Daniel Jones just needs to shake off the interception he threw on the last drive and just focus on this one, and hopefully this drive will result in some points for the Wolverines.
Well, I think what may help his confidence a little bit is that Woodland Hills didn't relinquish the lead. It's now a tie ball game at 3-all, so he's doesn't have his backed up against the wall, at least facing a deficit at this point with 1:39 to play in quarter number 2. And the Wolverines with the football on the right hash at their own 37. Jones looking left, has some time. He's now pressured from behind as he'll release the football to the far sideline. Avram Abramovitz, he is going to drop that football over on the far sideline. He had it in his hands but couldn't hang on, and the incomplete pass brings up 2nd down and 10.
And that was a good job of Abramovitz coming back to Jones, or actually going away from Jones as he signaled him to go out. Nice little back shoulder throw that only Abramovitz could catch, but he was unable to come up with the ball.
And that pass was a little bit further to the boundary than I thought, but still an incompletion, but not a drop. And that'll bring up 2nd down and 10 with the football at the 37 on the right hash. Receivers split to either side. Woodland Hill's going to run the counter to the left. The handoff slipped through the hands of Jawan Hill, and it is recovered by Logan Miller of Franklin Regional inside of the 35 at the 34-yard line.
Trying to see what happened. It just looked like a missed exchange between Jones and Hill, resulting in the Wolverine turnover.
And it looked like Jones put it in the breadbasket of Hill, and it looked like Hill had his hands prepared for the ball. I don't know exactly what happened there, but either way, it's a fumble and recovered by Franklin Regional, and they'll start this drive at the Woodland Hills 34. Bear pressured, and he is going to release a pass to the feet of Stephen Johns as the Wolverines sniffed out the screen very quickly.
Yeah, the Wolverines did a great job of, trying to see number 55 for Woodland Hills. Michael Lewis did a great job of getting his hands up in the face of Bear as he was trying to set up the screen, and then, even if the screen was completed, Mike McAllister was right there on Johns.
So Leopold back out there as he'll run the quarterback in the Wildcat. Trips bunch to the left, one receiver to the right. Leopold going to step forward off of play action. He will drive his way towards the 30-yard line before he is gang tackled by a host of Wolverines. Bottom of the pile is Tyrell Barlow. And Franklin Regional is going to use a timeout, so we'll step away too with 1:14 to go in a tie ball game. It's 3-all. Here in the second quarter, you're tuned into the Wolverines, the Panthers on MSA Sports and the Woodland Hills Football Network. Special thanks to the Woodland Hills Football Boosters for sponsoring our television broadcast of today's game. Visit their wing night every Thursday night throughout the season here at the Wolverina, Thursdays from 4 to 7. 3rd and 6 as Bear works off of play action, rolling to his right, has some room to step forward. Instead, he'll throw the ball to Leopold, and the pass is too high and incomplete, and that'll bring up 4th down and 7 for Franklin Regional. And Fred, from our vantage point, it looked like Bear may have had enough room to run for the first down.
Well, Seed Pace Jones was underneath, and I don't know if he would have had an opportunity to outrun Paige Jones coming into the flat, possible. But again, you never know.
At minimum, it certainly would have been a lot closer than 4th down and 7 with the ball at the 31-yard line, and that's where it stands right now as the Panthers are going to go for it here on 4th and 7. Twins to either side. Bear pressured, stepping to the right-hand side. Now will roll back to his left. He's pressured by Barlow now as he stepped forward. He throws the football, and it's intercepted by Derek Caraway at the 10-yard line. He'll run to the far side left, picks up a block from Rodney Denard. Derek Caraway stepping out of bounds, crossing the 30 out towards the 32-yard line. A 22-yard interception return by Derek Caraway.
Good job of Caraway of coming down with that ball. See if there was flags down?
Yeah, there's a flag over there on that far sideline, right around the 26-yard line. During the return, Caraway picking up 22 yards on that interception. check in with our referee. And it's an ineligible receiver downfield against Franklin Regional. Obviously, Woodland Hills is going to decline that penalty and instead accept the interception by Derek Caraway, and the Wolverines set up shop at their own 32.
Yeah, again, I thought this was a situation where Bear might try to run the ball, had some pressure on both ends, on his right side, and then when he came back to his left, had some pressure again, but couldn't set his feet to make a solid pass. Just lofted up the ball, and Derek Caraway came down with it.
So the Wolverines starting at the 32. Ball on the left hash is Jones. Rolls to his near side right. He has an opportunity to tuck and run. Instead, he'll dump it off. It's complete to Deontay Robertson. That's enough for the Woodland Hills first down, as he'll be brought down crossing the 45 out towards the 47-yard line, but a late flag is going to come in. And they're going to have another ineligible receiver downfield, this time against Woodland Hills. And it did appear that Bryce Johnson was down near the 35-yard line, which would have been about 3 yards beyond the line of scrimmage, and you can't really cross that 1 yard barrier.
Yeah, and this is a situation where the offensive line really aren't used to the quarterbacks for Woodland Hills scrambling around. So, I mean, it's to be expected. So
instead of 1st and 10 at the 47-yard line, it's 1st and 15 for the Wolverines back at their own 27. Jones looks left, has time as he releases the football, and it is incomplete to that far sideline. The pass intended for Robertson again, and that incompletion brings up 2nd down and 15.
Well, I like the idea and the play calling for Woodland Hills on that last play, but taking a look over to your right side to see what Derek Caraway is doing isn't always a bad option. He's one of your faster Wolverines. I'm not exactly sure if Franklin Regional is running a zone against him with Nate Leopold, but obviously he's one of your burners. You need to give him a look.
So 36.5 seconds to play here in the second quarter. Woodland Hills faces a 2nd and 15 at their own 27 in this tie ball game. One receiver split to either side, wing to the right. That wing will crab to the left in Deontay Robertson. The handoff will go to Seed Holt as he runs to the left. He's crossing the 30, across the 35, across the 40, gathers his balance to the 50, inside of Panthers territory to the 35-yard line, where he'll be met and forced out of bounds around the 33-yard line, and a big change of field position for the Wolverines.
And that was an impressive run for Saeed Holt, who just did a great job going off left side and then picking up some fantastic blocking along the way. But then at the end of the play, he just kept his legs turning and just had that determination not to be brought down until he put Woodland Hills in a good position.
34-yard pickup there for Saeed Holt. As the pass complete to the far sideline, Avram Abramovitz makes the reception for the Wolverines. It's another Woody High first down to the 21-yard line, this time picking up 12 yards.
Well, Woodland Hills needs to get moving.
Just under 20 seconds to play here as the ball is on the left hash at the 21-yard line. And the official has not started the clock yet, which is beneficial for the Wolverines. I guess they said that Abramovitz stepped out of bounds after catching the football. Oliver on the left of the formation, trips to the right. Low snap. Jones has time. As a flag comes in, he'll dump it off to Seed Holt. Holt running to the right, inside of the 20. Cutting it back to the left, and he is hit hard around the 15-yard line. Coming from behind and making the play is Eric Festa.
Well, I think it's going to be all for naught because I think Woodland Hills is going to get flagged for an illegal motion or not enough men on the line of scrimmage.
Well, either way, a procedural penalty against Woodland Hills is going to cost them 5 yards. And even more devastating for the Wolverines is that is going to cost them 13 seconds. And here comes the field goal unit. Now, why are they winding the clock here?
I don't think they're going to get it off.
I don't either. They do get the snap off. The kick by Chucky Hanchett is going to be short, and the field goal is no good. But what I want to know, Fred, is if the clock didn't start before the previous play, Why does it start after the play is negated by an illegal formation?
That's a great question. I didn't think the clock would start after a penalty on the snap, but I guess we were wrong.
Well, either way, Chucky Hanchett was forced to rush the field goal attempt. It would have been a very long field goal attempt, and Woodland Hills with the opportunity to try to take the lead in halftime is thwarted. Unfortunately, a couple of very bad timing for penalties for Woodland Hills cost them a couple of opportunities to take a lead into the locker room.
Yeah, and also the situation where you have no timeouts going into a 2-minute or 1-minute offense isn't going to help you either. So, a situation where the coaching staff for Woodland Hills needs to manage their timeouts a little bit better in the second half.
Again, your halftime score is Woodland Hills 3 and Franklin Regional 3. You're tuned in to the Wolverines and the Panthers in the WPIAL quarterfinal 4-5 matchup here in 5A. Folks, tuned in live on our social media affiliates. You can stay tuned for the Woodland Hills and Franklin Regional bands. If you're watching our television replays, we'll be right back with the second half. And folks tuned in on MSA Sports, we'll be right back with the MSA Sports halftime show. Again, your halftime score is Woodland Hills 3, Franklin Regional 3. For Fred Guy, I'm Adam Gusky. You're tuned into the Wolverines and the Panthers on MSA Sports and the Woodland Hills Football Network.
50-50 raffle tonight was sponsored by the Woodland Hills Football.
Back to the Wolverines, where Woodland Hills and Franklin Regional are tied up at 3 apiece as we get set to start the second half momentarily. Adam Gusky and Fred Guy on the call for you all across the Woodland Hills Football Network. And Fred, as you take a look at the first half numbers, it is such a dichotomy of offensive output. Woodland Hills, 208 yards of offense through the first 24 minutes of action, including 99 on the ground and 109 on the air. Conversely, Franklin Regional putting together just 76 yards of total offense through the first 2 quarters.
Yeah, and it's really a shame that, Woodland Hills only has 3 points to go along with all that yardage, but, you got to give your hats off to the defense of Franklin Regional. They've really stepped it up and came to play in this ballgame.
You also have to take into account that Woodland Hills has turned the ball over 2 times today, and both times deep inside of their own territory, including an interception by Daniel Jones and a fumble by Jawan Hill. Jawan Hill today, 4 carries for 5 yards and a fumble lost, while Seed Holt runs the ball 12 times for 94 yards. So clearly right now he seems to be the player who can carry the load for the Wolverines, at least in this first round of the WPIAL playoffs.
Yeah, and that's nothing new for Saeed Holt. Woodland Hills has leaned on him pretty much all season long, especially in the early going of the season. But Saeed Holt's certainly a player that is up to that challenge. But let's see if the rest of the Wolverines can follow his lead.
One of the Wolverines on the offensive side of the ball that's looked pretty good today is Avram Abramovitz, who has 3 catches for 47 yards. He leads the Wolverines in receiving both tonight and on the season, and he's doing a whale of a job, and he's catching some good throws from Daniel Jones.
Yeah, and all of his catches seem to be resulting in first down or getting the Wolverines out of a situation that they need to get out of ASAP. So hopefully that continues in the second half.
2 receptions for Derek Caraway for 31 yards in that first half, and Derek Caraway also with an INT. And boy, I'll tell you what, Fred, he is such a contributor, both catching the football offensively and in the secondary on the defensive side of the ball.
Yeah, he's been really impressive lately in the secondary. I think back to the game against North Allegheny and North Hills and Moon, where he stepped in and contributed with some nice timely interceptions. Again, I'd like to see them get Derek Caraway a little bit more involved in the offense, throw that slip screen out to him, and see what he can do with it, because he's certainly a game changer.
Fred, let's talk about the Woodland Hills offense, where we have seen them absolutely stymie the running attack from Franklin Regional. They have not been able to get anything going of any note in the running game, and a lot of that has to do with the defensive front for the Wolverines.
Yeah, they've really held Simon Bear, the quarterback for Franklin Regional, in check in terms of the running game. Bear came in with close to 800 yards rushing on the season, but really hasn't been able to get anything going because, 1, he's being contained by the defensive ends, and 2, he's getting up there. The defensive line and linebackers are getting tremendous penetration. Simon
Bear has 7 carries for -5 yards, and in the air today he's thrown 6 of 11 passes for completions for 54 yards. He has also thrown an interception, as we talked about earlier, an interception by Derek Caraway. Now Franklin Regional will receive to begin this second half, and if Chucky Hanchett kicks it deep, and the Wolverines are able to keep Franklin Regional held back. This will be the first time that the Panthers face a long field. But Hanchett will kick this one high, and it will be returned from the 24-yard line on that far sideline by Johns. And Stephen Johns is brought down shy of the 30 at the 29. And this will be the longest field that Franklin Regional faces, starting at their own 29-yard line.
Yeah, I'm not exactly sure why Woodland Hills isn't putting, Chucky Hanchett to better use on kickoffs. He's got a tremendous leg. You might as well see if he can boom it down to around the 5-10 yard line and see what the kickoff team can do.
So Franklin Regional starts this drive right hash at their own 29-yard line as the raucous Franklin Regional fans get excited for the start of this second half of this tied football game. One receiver to the near side, left power pistol favoring the right-hand side of Simon Bear as he has the sidecar to his right. Wing now to the left, motions from left to right in Bennett Verona. And Bear is going to hand off to Johns, who drives his way forward across the 35 to the 36-yard line. A pickup of 7 before the tackle made by the Wolverines, Asheed Page Jones. And it's a pickup of 7, and it's second down and 3.
And a little bit more of the zone read by Franklin Regional as Johns took the ball right up the gut and then picked up some good yards on first down.
Johns now 29 yards on the ground as again he will take the handoff, and this time he is met shy of the line of scrimmage by a host of black jerseys who meet him in the backfield. Involved in the tackle is Michael McAllister, who has absolutely been dominant from his left defensive end position.
Yeah, he's been able to cut through the offensive line of Franklin Regional pretty much at will in this ballgame.
Third down and 4 for Franklin Regional. The ball at their own 35-yard line on the right hash. Twins left, 2 receivers to the short side right as well. Pistol formation as Bear sets, looks left, throws left. The pass is intercepted by Derek Caraway as he falls down with the football at the 47-yard line. It will be 1st and 10 for Woodland Hills off the second INT by Derek Caraway.
I couldn't see really what happened, why that ball was overthrown. But Derek Caraway was just in the best spot possible to make that interception. And fortunately for Franklin Regional, Derek Caraway got that interception while he was on the ground.
So they'll spot the ball at the 47-yard line, where it'll be 1st and 10 for Woody High. This is the first time Woodland Hills starts in Panther territory. 10:50 to play in quarter number 3. Pistol formation as Jones will hand off. Jawan Hill has a crease to the left-hand side. He'll drive his way forward, picking up half a dozen yards to the 41-yard line, where it'll bring up 2nd down and 4.
It looked like Jawan Hill was taking that handoff with a full head of steam and did a great job of finding a little bit of a cutback after initial contact and picking up an extra couple of yards.
Second and 4 for Woodland Hills with the football favoring the left hash at the 41-yard line of the Franklin Regional Panthers. One receiver split to either side, wing to the left of the formation. That wing now crabs to the right-hand side as the handoff goes to Hill. He hesitates, then drives his way forward. He'll pick up a yard to the 40-yard line before being driven to the turf by a trio of Franklin Regional Panthers. Bottom of the pile is Bryce Lauer. And that brings up 3rd down and 3.
A good job of Jawan Hill of being patient. It looked like the run was supposed to go to the left or go to the Woodland Hills right-hand side, but things got a little messed up. One with the snap being a little high. Jones had to bring it down, and once that happened, it looked like the pulling guard might have got out a little fast, and Hill was just able to pick up a couple of yards to save the play.
3rd and 3 for Woodland Hills. Ball on the left hash. Receivers split to either side. Woodland Hills running the counter to the right-hand side. There's a crease. There's a 1st down for Saeed Holt as he spins forward inside of the 30 to the 28-yard line. And it's 1st and 10 for Woody High on the pickup of 12.
And that play just went right up the middle of the Franklin Regional Panther defense. And then once Saeed Holt was able to get across the line of scrimmage, engage the linebacker, who is Lauer, who's been one of their better players on defense so far, made a spin move and picked up some extra yards.
106 yards on the ground today for Saeed Holt. Wing to the right of the formation, receiver split to either side. Jones in the pistol. He'll hand off. Holt running to the left. turns the shoulders, picks up positive yardage down towards the 20-yard line, and he will pick up about 6 down to the 22-yard line, and it'll be 2nd down and 4.
Good job of the vision of Saeed Holt, sidestepping a couple of defensive linemen and then using his speed to pick up 7 yards on 1st down.
So it'll be 2nd down and 4 for Woody High with the ball on the left hash of the 22-yard line. Woodland Hills breaks the huddle, sending one receiver to either side, wing to the left in Robertson. Holt dots the pistol behind Jones. Motion man from left to right is Robertson. Handoff. Holt running to the right, finds a crease. Inside of the 20, still on his feet as he approaches the 16-yard line. That'll be enough for a Woodland Hills 1st down on the pickup of a half a dozen yards.
And I like the fact that the Wolverines have decided to come out and play a little smash mouth football against this Panther defense, who were very successful in the 1st half.
Saeed Holt now with 118 yards on the ground, as he has been all of the offense here in half number 2 thus far. Jones steps to the line of scrimmage, calling out signals. Receiver split to either side as the ball on the right hash, wing to the left. Holt dots the pistol behind Jones. Snap high, hand off. Holt, he's met 1 yard deep in the backfield, but is able to push his way forward for a gain of about 1, as Bryce Lauer was able to slide his way through and make the stop for a gain of just 1.
Yeah, great job of Lauer just busting through the offensive line. Snap a little high, but I didn't think it had anything to do with the play, but Lauer did a great job of getting his hands and arms around Holt as he came to the line of scrimmage.
2nd and 9 for Woodland Hills, as the Wolverines have chewed up over 3.5 minutes on this drive. Less than 7 minutes to play in the 3rd quarter of this tied football game. 3-3 your score here in the 3rd frame. Woodland Hills 2nd down and 9 at the Franklin Regional 15-yard line. Jones looking to pass. He's going to tuck and run to his right-hand side. He's inside of the 10-yard line. He's forced out of bounds around the 9-yard line. And Daniel Jones picking up about 6 yards on that play, brings up 3rd and a very manageable 2.
Good job of Daniel Jones of not forcing a pass once he saw that there was nothing open on the left side. Took a look to his right, saw nothing but wide open field, decided to tuck and run.
So a rush of 6 for Daniel Jones. And the Wolverines have it 3rd, make it 3 with the ball at the 9. The line to gain is the 6-yard line. Clock stopped here as Jones was forced out of bounds. Holt dots the pistol. And the handoff will go to Holt. Runs left, cuts it back to the right, picks up a blocker in front of him. He'll put the stiff arm in the back of that blocker. He'll pick up the 1st down inside of the 5, down to around the 3-yard line.
And that was some really nifty footwork by Saeed Holt as he was coming to the line of scrimmage. Saw a linebacker coming up, stopped on a dime, and cut it inside, and then decided to follow his blocker. Unfortunately, his blocker, number 57, Bryce Johnson, fell down as he was getting to around the goal line, which tripped up Saeed Holt as well.
1st and goal for Woodland Hills with the ball at the 3-yard line on the left hash. One receiver split right, wing to the left. That's Robertson. He'll crab to the right. The handoff will go to Saeed Holt. He'll drive his way forward for a gain of 3 into the end zone for a Woodland Hills touchdown.
Great job of Saeed Holt of just putting his head down after he got the handoff and barreling into the end zone. And Woodland Hills really got lucky on this play because it looked like the pulling guard from the left side might have started a little bit early, but the referees didn't call it.
Yeah, pulling guard from the left side is Ramon Childs. He's a reserve out there in place of John Robinson, who was shaken up early in the game. So Woodland Hills on top by 6 right now. Chucky Hanchett looks to make it a 7-point lead. Good snap, good hold. The kick by Hanchett is up, and that kick is good. And with 6 minutes and 2 seconds to play in the 3rd quarter, Woodland Hills leads Franklin Regional 10-3. You're tuned into the Wolverines and the Panthers on MSA Sports and the Woodland Hills Football Network. Back in Turtle Creek, where Woodland Hills has seized the lead, a 7-point advantage for Woodland Hills, 10-3 on a 3-yard touchdown run by Saeed Holt. as he carried it over right guard. And Fred, I saw what you were talking about before the break. Just a little bit of a backward lean by Ramon Childs, the pulling guard on that play.
Yeah, and I'm really surprised the way the referees seem to have such an eye for detail that that wasn't called.
So Chucky Hanchett will kick off. The ball favors the right hash. We have seen him pop them up short every kickoff today, and he does the same there, as it'll be returned from the 25-yard line by Stephen Johns, and Johns will get out to the 30 and no further, as 2 Wolverines are there to bring him down, including Steve Holt.
You know, while I don't agree with the pooch kick by Hanchett, I do love the results that the Woodland Hills kickoff team are yielding, because it doesn't seem like the return yards for Franklin Regional on these kickoffs have amounted to pretty much anything.
So the ball set near the right hash for the Panthers, as they will start this drive 1st and 10 at their own 30. Wildcat quarterback is in there, and Nate Leopold. He'll set deep in the shotgun with sidecars in front of him to either side and one receiver to the near side left. Leopold, he's going to run to the right-hand side. He's wrapped and brought down after a gain of a yard or 2 by Tyrell Barlow. So they'll say that Leopold bounced forward for that 2nd yard, and it'll just be a 1-yard gain for Leopold, and 2nd down and 9.
Good penetration by the defensive line for Woodland Hills on that last play. Seemed like Barlow, McAllister, a few guys in the backfield on that last play.
2nd and 9 for Franklin Regional, as Simon Bear returns to the lineup, and he'll send 2 receivers to the near side left and a sidecar to his right. Bear is going to hand off. No, he's going to keep it himself, running to the right-hand side. Good ball movement there by Bear to try to fake out Woodland Hills, but the Wolverines didn't bite, and Bear will be brought down for a gain of just a yard out to the 32-yard line.
Yeah, the one person that wasn't faked out was Barlow. Number 54, Barlow did a great job of really just waiting to see where that ball was going, and then once he saw that Bear had it, basically made an ankle tackle, bring it to the turf.
Had it not been for an off-season leg injury, could you imagine the impact Tyrell Barlow would have had he played all year long?
Actually would have had a tremendous impact.
Pistol formation as Bear rolls to the near side left. Throws the ball, and the pass is complete to Leopold out near the 44-yard line. It's a pickup of a dozen yards, and it's 1st and 10 for Franklin Regional.
That was a great catch by Leopold as he was going to the turf. Just maintain concentration as that ball came into his hands and his body hit the turf.
"66 yards in the air today for Bear. 63 of them have gone to Nate Leopold. 1 receiver to the right-hand side, a wing to the right as well, as there's a power pistol favoring the left-hand side of Simon Bear. Bear is going to hand off to Johns, and he will slide across the 45-yard line to the 47 before he's pulled back by Deontay Robertson. Steve Holt also involved on the stop.
And again, a great job of the Wolverines of not biting on the fakes of Bear. He's done it from our perspective. He's done a great job with his ball fakes, but the Woodland Hills front 7 is not falling for it one bit.
3:40 to play in the 3rd quarter. Woodland Hills on top 10-3 over Franklin Regional. 2 receivers left, 1 receiver to the far right-hand side. Bear working off of play action, hit as he released the football, but he completes the pass to Leopold, who runs to the far sideline, and will be wrestled out of bounds by Steve Holt at the 26-yard line. A big pickup on that play of 27 yards.
Good job of Bear standing in the pocket as he knew he was going to get hit and saw Leopold coming across the middle of the field and connected for a significant gain and 1st down.
Nate Leopold, 90 yards on 5 receptions today. And Simon Bear will set in the shotgun. Double tight end formation. Bear steps up into the pocket, looks to the right, throws to the right. The pass is broken up by a Wolverine back there. And I'm not sure what Leopold had seen, but Rodney Denard was in as much of a position to catch that football as Bennett Verona.
Yeah, Denard did a great job of staying stride for stride with Verona and then turning back to look for the ball once he saw Verona was going up for it, and did a great job of batting it away.
2nd and 10 for Franklin Regional with the ball at the Woodland Hills 26-yard line. Pass to the near side left is complete. Still on his feet and finally brought down at the 20-yard line is Zane Flynn. And Flynn picking up 5 yards, making 6. And it is 3rd down and 4 for Franklin Regional.
And Woodland Hills did a great job in the first half of running the man-to-man coverage against this receiving core for Franklin Regional. I don't understand why they're softening up with the zone, at least so far, at least from what I can see so far in the second half.
Derek Caraway was involved in the play initially, but wasn't able to make the stop, which would have been just a gain of about 3 initially. Bear in the shotgun, Leopold set to his left. And Bear's going to keep it running to his right-hand side, and yet again, it is Tyrell Barlow making the play. And Fred, these defensive ends for Woodland Hills, both McAllister and Barlow, and you bring in Balashak into the equation, they have done great jobs today.
Yeah, they're just doing a great job of scraping down the line of scrimmage, not going right after the quarterback, and just making sure that whoever has the ball, they're putting a nice solid hit and tackle on them.
4th down and 3 for Franklin Regional. The ball just shy of the 19-yard line. Bear in the shotgun. He's going to hand off. Leopold runs left. He's got the first down for Franklin Regional. He will get to the 15-yard line, and a nice open field tackle by Amir Collins, but it's still enough for a first down for Franklin Regional.
And that was a gutsy call by the defensive coaching staff for Woodland Hills, bringing Ashee Page-Jones on what I thought was going to be a run blitz, but Bear did a great job of giving the ball off to Leopold, and Leopold get enough for the first down.
6 carries, 10 yards for Nate Leopold. Is Franklin Regional trying to take some air out of the football here with 90 seconds to play in the 3rd quarter, facing a 1st and 10 at the Woodland Hills 15-yard line. Motion man from left to right is Jacob Shedd, as the Panthers are going to keep it on the ground, and Leopold is the ball carrier. He'll get the line of scrimmage no further, and it is 2nd down and 10.
And again, great penetration by the Wolverine front 7. Ashee Page-Jones doing a great job of really reading it, filling the open hole, forcing Leopold back into the middle of the field.
So Bear will set in the pistol with Leopold behind him and a sidecar to the right. They'll send Jacob Shedd in motion as he crabs to the right-hand side. And the handoff will go to Leopold going away from the strength. Leopold is met a yard deep in the backfield. The Wolverines will drive him back, but the whistles blow as the forward progress is stalled for a loss of 1, and it's 3rd and 11. Ball at the 16-yard line here.
Yeah, it's almost like the front 7 for the Wolverines is really taking this game personally, because they've just done a great job all night long against the running game of Franklin Regional.
DeJuan Howells was initially involved in that play, and then we see a couple of other Wolverines, including Amir Collins, clean it up, and that will be the final play of quarter number 3. We will head to the 4th frame with Woodland Hills leading Franklin Regional 10-3. You're tuned into the Wolverines and the Panthers on MSA Sports and the Woodland Hills Football Network. Welcome you back to Turtle Creek, where Woodland Hills leads Franklin Regional 10-3 as we are set to begin the 4th quarter of this WPIAL quarterfinal matchup in 5A. Woodland Hills, the 4th seed, Franklin Regional, the 5th seed. The Franklin Regional Panthers facing a 3rd down and 11 at the Woodland Hills 16-yard line. This drive for Franklin Regional started at their own 30-yard line. I want to thank the Woodland Hills Football Boosters Association for their sponsorship of today's television broadcast. Visit their website, WHFBA.org. And of course, Thursday nights throughout the season, visit the Wolverina between 4 p.m. and 7 p.m. for their wing nights here at the Wolverina. 3rd and 11 for Franklin Regional. The ball in the middle of the field. No motion, trips to the right of the formation. Bear, he's going to roll to the short side, and he is wrapped and brought down in the backfield. Stop made by Amir Collins. Wow, Amir Collins absolutely swallowed up Simon Bear for a loss of about 10 on that play.
Collins, along with another, I think a defensive lineman, stayed home on this play, and they were not fooled. And then once Collins saw that Bear was dropping back to pass, he just ran forward and put a nice hit on him.
Well, Amir Collins, he's been all over the place today. Really, the front seven for Woodland Hills has shined so brightly on the defensive side for the home team.
Timeout. Franklin Regional, their first charge timeout.
So the Panthers are going to take a timeout. That'll give us an opportunity to take a breather too. 11:19 to play in regulation. Woodland Hills 10, Franklin Regional 3. You're tuned into the Wolverines and the Panthers on MSA Sports and the Woodland Hills Football Network. We welcome you back to Wolverine, where Woodland Hills leads Franklin Regional by a score of 10-3. Just getting a scoring update from the West Allegheny North Hills game. Winner of this game would play the winner of that game, and West Day has a reasonably commanding lead, 38-14 over North Hills. Ball on the left hash as the Panthers face a 4th and 20 at the 25-yard line. And Coach Novak calls for a timeout a second before the snap.
Timeout. Woodland Hills. Wow. Their first charge timeout.
Little chess game by Coach Novak, and that'll give us another opportunity to take a breather here. Again, 11:17 to play in quarter number 4. Woodland Hills 10 and Franklin Regional 3. You're tuned into the Wolverines and the Panthers on MSA Sports and the Woodland Hills Football Network. Franklin Regional facing a 4th down and 20 at the Woodland Hills 25-yard line. The Panthers send the offense out onto the field here with a 7-point deficit. The ball set on the left hash. Simon Bear will set in the pistol with Tyrese Coleman behind him. 2 receivers right, 1 receiver to the short side left, a wing to the left-hand side as well. Bear looking left, throwing left. They're going to run a hook and ladder, and the pass to lateral to Coleman. He'll step out of bounds. He didn't put forth a whole heck of a lot of effort, Fred, to try to stay in bounds and try to pick up that first down.
No, I thought there could have been a nice cutback for Coleman, but I just didn't. Once he got the pitch, I mean, Saeed Holt was right there. Well, Saeed Holt bumped him out of bounds. That's probably the end of that.
Well, turnover on downs. It'll be Woodland Hills ball. 1st down and 10 at their own 15-yard line with 11:12 to play in regulation. Jones in the pistol, receiver split to either side. Robertson crabs to the left. Handoff will go to the tailback, picking up a yard. And that'll bring up 2nd down and 9 as Jawan Hill, the ball carrier.
Yeah, I don't think right now is the right time to let off the throttle of this offense. Really need to continue to mix in the passing game and with the running game, and not become one-dimensional. So with so much time left in the 4th quarter.
Pistol formation as Robertson crabs left. Handoff. Saeed Holt running left. Puts his foot in the ground, turns his way upfield, picks up about 5 yards out to the 20-yard line, and that brings up 2nd down and 5.
A good job of Saeed Holt of being patient and seeing that there was a little bit of a cutback lane. Instead of trying to take it to the outside where it didn't look like there was anything going on for the Woodland Hills running back. We saw there was a slight opening, cut it back, and picked up some decent yards on 2nd down.
Pivotal 3rd and 5 here for Woodland Hills with the ball favoring the left hash at the 20-yard line. Panther fans get to their feet as they sense the defense needs to make a play here. Wing to the left, receiver split to either side, and Coach Novak wants to talk things over.
Timeout. Woodland Hills. Their second charge timeout.
Timeout on the field. We'll step away too with 9:35 to play in regulation. It's Franklin Regional trailing Woodland Hills by a score of 10-3. You're tuned into the Wolverines and the Panthers on MSA Sports and the Woodland Hills Football Network. Back in Turtle Creek, where Woodland Hills leads Franklin Regional 10-3 in this WPIAL quarterfinal matchup. It's the 4-5 matchup in 5A. Again, the top-seeded West Allegheny Indians lead North Hills by a score of 38-14. We'll talk more about scores momentarily on this 3rd and 5, though. Woodland Hills with a big offensive play coming. Handoff, Seed Holt. He's got the first down and more, cutting his way back across the 30, out towards the 35-yard line. He picks up 15 when he needed 5.
And again, Saeed Holt being very patient with his blockers, letting them clear the way for him, running right up the middle of the field. And then once they made some contact, he just kept his feet churning. Certainly got enough for the first down and a lot more.
So we said this is the 4-5 matchup in the 1 versus 8 matchup. West Allegheny leading North Hills 38-14. In the 2 versus 7 matchup, Gateway looking to upset Armstrong. They're up 28-14 in that football game. And in the 3-6 matchup, McKeesport on top of Upper St. Clair by a score of 16-3, or rather 17-3. Ball carrier Seed Holt, he'll pick up a yard across the 35 to the 36-yard line, and it brings up 2nd down and 9 as Seed Holt approaching 150 yards on the ground. He now has 148 by my account.
Good job of the defensive line of really standing their ground for Franklin Regional, not getting pushed back, and then only holding Saeed Holt to just a 1-yard gain.
Getting reports that Zane Dudek got hurt in the first half for Armstrong, and he is basically everything for that offense for Armstrong, and losing him certainly is going to hurt their possibilities of coming back against the Gateway Gators. Low snap. Jones able to corral it here on 2nd and 9. He'll throw to the right-hand side. The pass is complete to Deontay Robertson. He is into Panthers territory. Brought down finally at the 44-yard line. A huge turn of field position for the Wolverines again.
Yeah, and that's one person that the Franklin Regional Panthers defense needs to account for is Deontay Robinson. They're so used to Abramovich getting every pass, but certainly on tape they had to see that Deontay Robinson has done a great job so far in the passing game for the Wolverines.
First pass attempt of the second half for Daniel Jones, completed for 21 yards. Daniel Jones now has 130 yards in the air today, completing 2 passes to Daniel Robertson for 51 yards in total. Pistol formation as Robertson crabs to the left. Handoff. Holt lowers the shoulders, tries to slide right. He'll pick up no yardage. In fact, they'll say he's brought down to the line of scrimmage. And Fred, in the pregame show, Coach Novak talked about center and linebacker Bryce Lauer and what a force he is at linebacker for the Franklin Regional Panthers, and he certainly has made an impact for their defense today.
Yeah, he's basically in on every play for the Panther defense, but what he's doing is he's just reading the Wolverine offensive line and then filling gaps pretty much on every play.
2nd and 10 for Woodland Hills with the ball at the Franklin Regional 43-yard line. Jones in the pistol, looking right as he's pressured. He's flushed, running to that right-hand side. He'll tuck and run. He'll pick up positive yardage, and the big QB steps out of bounds after picking up about 3 to the 40-yard line.
Yeah, and what Franklin Regional fails to understand is that Daniel Jones weighs 220 pounds, probably a little bit more now later in the season. So when he comes around the right end, certainly he's going to be a load to bring down.
Yeah, Daniel Jones was a linebacker on the freshman team last year, as well as kind of being buried on the depth chart in the quarterback ranks. But he certainly has crawled out of that depth to share starting job with Whitehurst early in the season and then earned the starting job in the latter portions of the regular season, and he has certainly shown why for the last 3 weeks. Jones in the pistol on 3rd and 6. He'll hand off. Holt runs left. He's got the first down inside of the 35 to the 33-yard line. Boy, did Holt hit the turf hard, Fred, and he comes up with a little hitch in his giddy-up. Gave him that left leg.
Yeah, he took the ball with, again, another situation where the running back takes the ball with a full head of steam and actually got through and got past Lauer on that play, number 71, on his way to the first down.
155 yards on the ground today for seed Holt. One receiver split to either side as Jones is in the pistol with Hill behind him. Hill motion, Robertson to the right. And a delayed handoff will go to Hill. And I don't know if he and Jones weren't on the same page or if that was a designed pass. And I really don't know what happened there. But either way, it's a big loss on the play of 6 back to the 39.
Yeah, we need to look at the replay to see what the offensive line was doing.
Well, it was a designed run. I think that there were 2 players that Michael McAllister, the center, had to try to block by himself, and Justin Johns, as well as Nate Seymour, were able to push him back and make the stop. So Hill stays in, dotting the pistol on 2nd down and 16. Robertson crabbing right. Hand off to Hill. Hill run right, cut it back left. He's inside of the 30, inside of the 25. He will pick up a Woodland Hills first down, picking up 17 yards when the Wolverines needed 16.
Yeah, and that play just went right off of right tackle. The offensive line did a great job of opening the hole for Juwan Hill. And Juwan Hill is, no stranger to big gains by any means this season. And again, came up big on that play.
So 1st and 10 for Woodland Hills with the football at the 23-yard line. They'll say that he picked up 16 exactly, even though it seemed like he had fallen down towards the 22. But either way, it's enough for the Woodland Hills first down. 22 yards on the ground today for Juwan Hill, who continues to dot the pistol. Robertson crabs to the right. Handoff, Hill. Right, then left. Driving his way inside of the 20, still on his feet as he approaches the 17-yard line. And that is the strength that we saw from Juwan Hill a week ago.
And it looked like number 71, Lauer, was on his back as he was bouncing it to the outside. And Juwan Hill just kept, well, first of all, used a stiff arm against him and then kept driving his legs as he was as Lauer was trying to bring him to the turf.
Clock winding to 4 minutes and 15 seconds to play in regulation. Woodland Hills on top of Franklin Regional by a score of 10-3. Second and 4, ball on the right hash at the Franklin Regional 17. Robertson crabs to the left-hand side as the handoff will go to Juwan Hill, and flags come in before the snap. We'll check in with our referee, David Berry.
Dead ball. False start. Offense. 5-yard penalty. Remains 2nd down.
So after the penalty, the Wolverines are pushed back, and that'll bring up 2nd down and about 9 from the 17.
Adam, as I was looking on the sideline of Franklin Regional and over their roster, it looks like there's a few familiar names and faces along the sideline. Marco Thomas, whose father, Sonny Thomas, was a defense coordinator at Woodland Hills for a long time, and Marco was a ball boy at Woodland Hills for quite some time as well.
Receivers split to either side as Robertson crabs to the right. Handoff, Hill going away from the motion. He'll drive his way towards the 20-yard line, dragging white jerseys with him before finally being brought down. We'll say that Hill gets to the 21, so it's a pickup of about 1.5 yards for Juwan Hill, and that brings up 3rd down and 8.
And it's decision time for Coach Novak. What do you want to do? Do you want to try to throw the passes, 5, 10, 15-yard passes that have been really successful in the 2nd and 3rd quarters, or do you want to try to run through this defense to pick up the first down?
Fred, you talk about familiar names. Looking at the principal for Franklin Regional High School, former Woodland Hills quarterback Ron Suvek. Jones sets in the pistol with Hill behind him. Jones dropping back, pressured, and he will be brought down The Panthers were able to slide their way through and put a lot of pressure on Jones initially. He wasn't able to elude that pressure, and Woodland Hills is pushed all the way back to the 37-yard line.
Franklin Regional.
So Franklin Regional takes a timeout here to stop the clock as the punt unit will come on for Woodland Hills. Will step away too. 2:29 to play in regulation. It's Woodland Hills 10, Franklin Regional 3. You're tuned into the Wolverines and the Panthers on MSA Sports and the Woodland Hills Football Network. .229 to play in the fourth quarter. Woodland Hills backed up, facing a 4th and 23. The ball at their Franklin Regional's 37-yard line. Michael Whitehurst is the punter. Mike McAllister, the long snapper. Franklin Regional bringing the house of the punter. Whitehurst gets the punt away. It'll take a hop in favor of the Wolverines. Continue to rolling down towards the 10-yard line. Inside of the 10 towards the 5. Down to the 4-yard line. The ball will finally die at the 4, and a very nice punt by Michael Whitehurst covering 33 yards. Backs the Panthers up to their own 4.
Yeah, and that really puts them in a tough situation. You had 96 yards to go in 2 minutes and 18 seconds. Against a very stingy defense that actually has brought some pressure against Bear in the passing game. So, as well as Bear's done throwing the ball, he certainly has had some pressure on him in this ballgame.
Fred, Woodland Hills occupied nearly 9 minutes on that drive. Unfortunately, the Wolverines not able to come out of it with points, and they give it back to the Panthers with 2:18 to play. And the Wolverines are going to use their final timeout of the half.
Their final charge timeout of the half.
So we'll step away with the Wolverines using their final timeout. It is Woodland Hills 10, Franklin Regional 3. You're tuned into the Wolverines and the Panthers on MSA Sports and the Woodland Hills Football Network. WPIAL quarterfinal action here on the Woodland Hills Football Network as the Franklin Regional Panthers have the football at their own 4-yard line, 96 yards away from trying to tie this game. Right now, Woodland Hills on top, 10-3. Ball on the left hash as Bear is in the pistol, rolling to his left. He'll throw the ball. It's intercepted. Rodney Denard steps through, and it's a pick 6 for Rodney Denard, and the Wolverines have opened up a 2-score lead.
And I don't understand how that ball was overthrown by Bear, because number 17, Vinny Pisnick, was standing all by himself, nobody around him, and Bear just overthrew it, and Rodney Denard was just in the right place at the right time with a full head of steam and walked right into the end zone.
Yeah, Rodney Denard, arguably the fastest Wolverine, and once he caught the ball in stride at the 18-yard line, he was able to take it to the house without any challenges from anybody in a white jersey. And that 18-yard pick 6 puts Woodland Hills on top, 16-3. Chucky Hanchett can make it 17-3 with this PAT. He does so as there's a flag that comes in after the point after touchdown splits the uprights. So we will check in with our official David Barry as they sort out what this penalty was. Again, checking the scores from around the WPIAL 5A playoffs. Gateway leading Armstrong 28-21. In the latter stages of that game, and McKeesport has opened up a 21-point lead, 24-3. Let's check in with David Barry and see what this call is.
The extra point is good. Personal foul. Roughing the snapper on the defense. That penalty will be assessed on the kickoff.
So after the penalty against the Panthers, Woodland Hills will be kicking this ball off inside of Franklin Regional territory at the 45 for the roughing the snapper penalty. And boy, that's plain as day, Fred. A linebacker who's trying to leap the center cannot make any contact with the center while trying to block the kick. If he comes down at all on top of that long snapper, it is automatically roughing the snapper, and that is what happened to Franklin Regional there.
Yeah, I mean, that's just a mental mistake. by Franklin Regional. You have to know the rules going into the game, even coaches, players, whomever. Situations where people are off limits, you have to not hit them.
Well, again, Woodland Hills defense, they need to hold strong here, but they've given themselves some breathing room with this pick 6 by Rodney Denard. It's now 17-3. Woodland Hills on top of Franklin Regional. And Fred, maybe time to start to look forward. Woodland Hills taking on West Allegheny in a rematch next week in the WPIAL semifinals.
Well, for me, there's 2 minutes, 9 seconds left to go. I'm not going to count my chickens because we've seen over the years a lot of things could either go, right for the Woodland Hills Wolverines or wrong for the Woodland Hills Wolverines.
Well, it's a 2-score game, and I think that is what's key in the equation, trying to consider that with 2:09 to play, Woodland Hills holds this 14-point advantage, and Chucky Hanchett will boom that one and didn't have to put even his full leg into it to kick it in the end zone for a touchback, and it'll be 1st and 10 for Franklin Regional at the 20 to start this drive.
Well, I'm kind of surprised that he took a full stride kick on that. I figured, with the short field, the pooch that has been very successful for Woodland Hills probably would have done just as fine on that play too.
So Fred, 2 weeks in a row, the Wolverines are able to return an interception for a touchdown. Last week it was Deontay Robertson with the 40-yard pick 6, Rodney Denard this week with the 18-yarder that may have just done enough to seal the deal. But there is still 2:09 to play as Simon Bear sets in the pistol. He'll drop back. He's pressured late. He's wrapped. He's sacked. Michael McAllister makes the play, the big defensive end.
He's very busy in the early goings of this game and has certainly come up big late in this ballgame with a big sack on Bear.
Bear with minus 14 yards on the ground. Gateway kicking a field goal. They have opened up a 10-point lead over Armstrong, 31-21. And Michael McAllister deflects that pass as Bear was looking to his right-hand side. McAllister put up the hand and swatted the turf incomplete. And now we're going to have a flag thrown on Deontay Robertson for doing what? There was no contact there.
Dead ball. Unsportsmanlike conduct. Defense.
You know what, Fred? That's a terrible call. I mean, what, you're not allowed to talk? Unless he was swearing, he was baited by Logan Miller. And Miller, was there in his ear the whole time. Robertson had plenty to say back, and unless he used foul language, there's no reason to throw an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty for mutual jawing.
I wish I can give you some explanation. We're obviously not down there, so we can't hear what's going on, but
Bear throws the football on the run, running to his right-hand side. He'll find Adam Grialski, and he'll pick up a gain of 9 out to the 43-yard line.
And it doesn't look like Franklin Regional's in any hurry to get going.
First completed pass to Grialski. Pickup of 9 as Bear runs to his left-hand side. He'll be pressured. He'll release the football over to that far sideline. The pass is complete to Zane Flynn into Woodland Hills territory as the Panthers picking up 12 yards on that pass play.
And again, no urgency by Franklin Regional to get to the line of scrimmage. They're just dilly-dallying around. I know the clock is stopped, but still.
Bear rolling right. He will be hit in the legs as he was trying to cut back left. Barlow was able to clip his legs and force him down at the line of scrimmage as Franklin Regional uses a timeout.
Franklin Regional.
So a timeout by Franklin Regional, and the Wolverines will get a breather too. Just under a minute to play. Woodland Hills on top by 14. You're tuned into the Wolverines and the Panthers on MSA Sports and the Woodland Hills Football Network. Visit the Woodland Hills Football Network website at woodlandhillsfootballnetwork.com for links to all of our social media pages, as well as links to all of our highlight packages and game broadcasts. All of that and more at woodlandhillsfootballnetwork.com. 2nd and 10 for the Panthers. Rolling to his right is Bear as he's pressured by Ashid Page-Jones. The pass is complete down the right hash. Deontay Robertson makes the tackle after the catch is made by Adam Griewski. Pickup of 11 on the play. Three straight completions now for Simon Bear as he is over 135 yards at 139 for the game. Clock winding to 33 seconds to go here. Bear looks to his right-hand side. The pass is complete to the right to Nate Leopold. He pays the price after catching the football. A hard tackle made by Nazir Taylor.
It looks like Leopold might have got injured.
We have officials timeout for an injury.
Yeah, Nazir Taylor made the big stop here on the near sideline as Leopold made that catch. Both Taylor and Robertson slammed him to the turf, not illegally by any stretch of the imagination, but I think Leopold is slow to get up after taking that hard hit.
Man, that was a great form tackle by Taylor. Head to the side, chest or shoulder pad right in the belly of the receiver, and scooped him up and planted him in the turf.
Leopold now with a half a dozen catches for 96 yards. In the air, Simon Bear, 145 yards passing. He'll roll to his left. He's pressured. He's wrapped. He is sacked back near the 40-yard line. The play made by Damian R. Thomas, the defensive end.
And that's certainly, I think, going to put a stamp on this ball game.
And that is the final play of the football game. Woodland Hills advances to the WPIAL semifinals with a 17-3 victory over the Franklin Regional Panthers.
And that it really is an impressive defensive effort by Woodland Hills. You know, after the 21 points that came late in the ball game or in the second half against Upper St. Clair and the shellacking they took against West A coming into this playoff game, you know, only letting up 3 points and really shutting down Bear in the rushing game was very key to their victory.
So Woodland Hills advancing to the WPIAL semifinals with this 17-3 victory over the Franklin Regional Panthers. In all likelihood, they will take on West Allegheny, who has a commanding 38-14 lead with about 6 minutes to go over the North Hills Indians. So Woodland Hills going to see a rematch with West Allegheny in the WPIAL semifinals at a neutral site next Friday night. And Fred, I think that's going to be a great football game. Woodland Hills has a lot to prove.
Yeah, it gives you that whole 2012 feel of the season where Woodland Hills played Upper St. Clair in the first game of the season, really took a beating, but then came back and met them in the semifinals with a trip to Heinz Field on the line and really took Upper St. Clair to task in that ball game. Has that same kind of feel. I mean, you know, the way West A put it on the Wolverines a couple weeks ago, they really need to study what they did wrong, figure out what they did right, continue it, and see what happens.
Let's talk about the Woodland Hills offense first, Fred, in this post-game wrap-up. I think Saeed Holt had a fantastic game running the football, and Daniel Jones, yet again, very efficient throwing the ball.
He was. And the biggest thing for the Wolverines in the second half, clock management. They were able to eat up so much time offensively with just keeping the ball on the ground, maintaining drives, putting some points on the board as well. So, you know, certainly the Wolverines did a great job offensively and defensively tonight.
Franklin Regional, while they were able to throw the ball for 145 yards today unofficially, they did a lot of that in between the 10 and the 10-yard line. Other than that, they were not able to obviously cross the goal line. The Woodland Hills defense held strong when they needed to.
Two stands inside their own 5-yard line really were the key in the momentum shifts for this Wolverine defense. I mean, I understand that the one drive started inside the 5-yard line, but you know, some nice penalty, or one nice penalty and a couple of significant plays by the Wolverine defense really backed up the Franklin Regional Panthers.
Well, that'll do it for our video portion of our broadcast, both on our social media sites as well as on WHHS TV. We really thank you for joining us for this big win for Woodland Hills in the WPIAL quarterfinals. Again, folks tuned in on our television broadcast, your final score is 17-3. Woodland Hills defeating the Franklin Regional Panthers. If you're tuned in on MSA Sports, stay tuned for the State Senator Jay Costa post-game show. One more time, we want to thank the Woodland Hills football boosters for their sponsorship of our television broadcast, and they will do so hopefully again next week as Woodland Hills takes on West Allegheny in the WPIAL semifinals, and we hope to have the coverage for you right here on the Woodland Hills Football Network. For Fred Guy, I'm Adam Gusky. You've been tuned into the Wolverines and the Panthers on MSA Sports and the Woodland Hills Football Network.